What's up everybody, Kinetic here, welcome back to Lost Ark. So I've finally reached that point now where I've unlocked each of the different island pieces, and this has been going on since last Wednesday now. I think is around when I started doing the island hopping after 50 for my Berserker. And it's taken quite some time to go through the different quests. It has been sort of helped by the guides that I've found that were translated from Korean to English. But even still, it was quite confusing, and some days, like 2 days ago, I barely made any progress because I was so confused on which way I was supposed to be going for what quest. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even have made it here, so I do have to give some credit to those guys. I will have links to the two Island Heart quest kind of guides that I found in the description of this video if you're looking for something like that. If you're confused on what I'm talking about with the island hearts and island gear and stuff, a couple videos back I was talking about sailing, and that's when you have access to your own boats and then you can travel to the different islands in Lost Ark and do different quests, and you have the chance to collect these hearts. They're like a really special item. It's very similar to the Makoko seeds actually in the way that they work to not be exchanged for items upon collecting them, but sort of like an achievement. Like you've collected this many, so you get to collect this many items from a special vendor in the game. And that's exactly how the island hearts work as well. And I was stuck on like 7 island hearts for like 2 days, and it was really frustrating because the last one was the weapon, but I finally managed to finish this really long quest. It was quite satisfying at the end. They had this really nice piano music and scene, and then I just went straight to the island, collected my item, and began to work on upgrading and figuring out where I want to go from here now with this set. Now, also, like I mentioned in the sailing video, island hopping is not the only means of getting endgame gear in Lost Ark. It happens to be one of the most attractive ways to get gear because of the way that it upgrades. You see, dungeon gear cannot be upgraded. If you want a new sword, well then you're gonna have to run whatever the next dungeon is or whatever a bunch of times and hope that you get a sword and hope that it also rolls really good. And that can be quite frustrating. So instead of relying on RNG to bless you with your next upgrade, instead most players seem to be focused on 2 of the other options that are available. There is PvP and there also is life skilling and crafting, but the 2 most popular right now are the Guardian Raid gear and the Island Heart gear. And the reason for that is because both of those sets can be upgraded. And so you, instead of trying to get another piece for that slot, let's say your hat or your boots or something like that, instead you just continue to throw more materials at those pieces as you collect them, and then they upgrade. But here's the thing, different gear sets upgrade in different ways. Whereas the Guardian Raid gear will upgrade 10 eye levels upon successfully upgrading it, the Island Heart gear actually goes up 20 levels per upgrade. A lot of that probably has to do with something about collecting the materials and how much effort that takes. It's entirely up to the players, of course, though, which pieces they want to go for. And really, I think probably the best is to try and mix the 2 sets based on what you're able to upgrade at what time, and also what pieces are better fitting the build that you're going for and your sort of play style with that subclass. But you're not restricted there. Like, you can continue to make all sorts of modifications to your gear, and that's what I'm going to talk about here in this video. So here we are, we're in the main city of Bern, and this is my main character, and this is how he looks now with this awesome island gear that he's wearing. I've also got one of these power stones, sometimes called power gems, ability gems, skill gems. I mean, right now there's a bunch of names for it, but it's basically the same thing. It's another piece of equipment that you can put onto your character, which is going to boost your stats just like any other piece of gear would. We're going to be talking about this more here really soon, but yeah, that's kind of where my character is at right now. I've also made some adjustments to the skills that my Berserker is using, and pretty soon, not this video, and probably not the next video, or the next video after that, but sometime next week I will be talking more about these activities here. You have like the tower dungeon, the cube dungeon, you have the life skill gathering zones, and hopefully I'll be able to do those really hoping to get a good raiding party here soon, but it will be difficult because there is no matchmaking system for Guardian raids. You have to form your own party or be invited to a party, and that's going to be a challenge for me, definitely. But here we are, like I said, and this is one of the big main cities, and I believe all of the big cities have the same kind of vendors and NPCs that you will be looking for. Right now we're heading to the southeast corner. You can see there's a bunch of like blue kind of markers there, blue icons, and those are what we're looking for most right now to improve our gear, so we're heading over there now. Alright, so here we are in sort of the crafting corner. I'm going to show you guys some of the crafting NPCs first. Now, there are no crafting professions. All the NPCs take care of your crafting needs. You just go out there and collect the pieces. So, for example, if you want an eye level 280 piece of gear, then you just bring like the ore, the wood, and some special crystals. Looks like some ore and maybe some animal skins, and then you can craft a eye level 280 piece, which is pretty sweet. That gear seems to be upgradable. Over here we have a very similar system, 280, but this is the Guardian Raid gear. So you have these 2 Guardian Hearts and 8 pieces of their skin, I guess, that somehow makes a sword. I don't know, Lost Ark logic for you. Then you can go up to 340, 400, 455, and this is when, yeah, it's looking really, really awesome. These crafting materials look insane and probably take quite a long time to get. So imagine Monster Hunter, right? The Guardian Raid system to me is very similar to Monster Hunter. You're going to be farming the same monster repeatedly to try and get the materials that you need. Some are going to be more common than others. But it looks really fun and something that I definitely want to get into. Over here we have here's another NPC and a function that doesn't quite have an official translation yet, I don't think. But some people call this the Enchanter or Inscription or something like that. Basically, you have, I call them enchantments. Enchantments that you can place on your rings. I don't believe you can have these placed on amulets. But we have all these different tabs up here and all these enchantments to unlock. And the reason why these are grayed out is because I haven't read enough books about these enchantments. So I've read 1 of 3 of the books needed to unlock this enchantment. The books can come from all sorts of different places. They may come from quests, maybe while you're out island hopping. They may come as part of the loot chest that you get at the end of Chaos Dungeons. It's pretty random. So if I wanted to, I could spend 20,000 silver and have that enchantment placed on that ring. I think I'm gonna wait for now. It is a really good ring. That's my one and only world boss piece of equipment that I won via the auction after the fight. Anyway, going back to power gems, I spoke about these 2 years ago during the first closed beta test for Lost Ark, and the system is basically the same. And what you're doing is you're giving this unpolished gem to the NPC, and what he'll do is he'll start making these refinements, these cuts, these attempts to polish this rough gem to make it a fully polished gem that you can equip onto your character. And you have these 3 different categories of stats. So you go through and attempt to try and have as many of these successful as possible because they will add to that stat. And you want as many of these to fail because they will reduce that stat once you equip this power gem. And what you'll see is that as you're clicking and he's making these polishes to these different spots, the percentage chance to success, which is what this is here, is going to fluctuate. If this is successful, if I were to click on this and it would be successful, then this is going to go down 10%. So I've lost 10% chance at success and it goes down to 65. If it does it again, it's going down to 55. However, if it fails, then it's going to go up 10%. So this is very interesting in the way that you don't have to stick to any one of these rows and go through them one at a time. You can go back and forth through all these different spots at any time, and you should, to try and maximize the potential for win or loss with the percentage here. So let me give you an example. the first two of these succeed. So I go down 65, I'll go down to 55. Now I have a choice. I can either continue to go down this way, and if it's successful, it's going to continue to go down, or it might fail, and then my percentage chance go up. But what if the percentage chance starts to get really low in success? Like maybe I get 3, 4 successes in a row, right? It's dropping down to like 45, 35% chance of success. That's a high percentage chance of failure then. What you want to do then is when it's getting that low, is you want to start trying to hit these nodes here, because you want these to fail, right? You don't want these to be successful, otherwise they will take away from the stat. It's a very strange, but I think it's a very interesting experience of going through these different spots, attempting to have the NPC polish them, and trying to get as many of these to succeed and as many of these to fail, so that way when you go to equip that power gem, it gives you the most potential that you're looking for. And of course, all of these stones, they come with different stats, different stat mixtures than another. They also come in different tiers of quality. You have blue quality gems, you have purple quality gems, and yeah, it's very cool. So you can use silver, and I believe this would be for spending these blue crystals to do the same thing. And yeah, it's pretty expensive. I recommend doing it maybe with these gems if you have a lot of them and not a lot of money, because at 540 it starts getting pretty expensive quick. Anyway, so yeah, that's what you do to get one of these gems here on your character. I think I have some, I have a couple of unpolished. I don't have any unidentified. Do I? Oh, I have this box. Okay, so this is I think this was maybe a login reward or something like that. We'll go ahead and right click on this. So I'm either getting one of those or all of those. I got all of them. Wow. Holy crap, seriously? Oh, I'm gonna have to work on that later. That's basically what, a legendary tier? Power gem? Ooh. I have to go translate this later to see what stats it could add to or subtract to. But there you go, and they're already all identified. If they're unidentified, what you'll see is like a question mark over it, right click it, and it will give you like a random stat gem. Anyway, moving on, that was long enough with the power gem section. We need to go up here a little to the northwest, and we can talk about upgrades and re-rolling stats and perks on your gear. So here's the NPC that you can choose, like from your bag, from your storage box, what's equipped on you and stuff like that. This is the gear that I have equipped on me and is upgradable. Now the sword here is currently, I believe, still eye level 280. You can see it kind of towards the top there. And if I had enough of these white crystals, I need 2 more of those, and I need 10 of these kind of greenish crystals. Spend 24,700 silver, and then I would upgrade this piece of gear, and then it would jump to eye level 300, which is pretty freaking sweet. That's where I'm at right now in the game. Is I'm on this gem grind, man. So that is how you go about upgrading upgradable gear. Over here, let me show you guys via the map. If you take a really close look at this icon, it looks very similar to this this gem icon. However, it has like this blue circular arrow around it. Same thing with this here. Both of these NPCs do something very similar. What they do is they allow you to re-roll something that is built into that piece of gear. Over here, on this NPC, what they will do is, if you have skill bonuses, you may have 1, you may have 2 skill bonuses that are built into that piece of gear. These are some really nice shoulders, 295, that I picked up from a dungeon. And if I have one of these customization hammers and 2K's silver, what I can do is I can tell the NPC to please try and re-roll this to another skill, maybe that I want to be improved. Right now, this is giving me, it looks like 5% something to, I believe this is the climb hazard skill, which I actually use, but maybe I want this to be an improvement on another skill that I use more often, or one that I want to be more powerful. Or maybe I don't use climb hazard at all. Well, then you want to re-roll that, right, to try and get this to be something else. And this works very similarly to the Mystic in Diablo 3. If you play Diablo 3, there's a NPC there who does the same thing. You pay to re-roll this, and then you get a random selection of 3 skills, I believe. I did this once, like, weeks ago. But you'll get a selection, and it's randomly decided, and then you either get what you wanted, or you don't. And then you have the choice. You either take something, you know, for now, and then maybe re-roll later, or you keep re-rolling until you get the skill upgrade that you wanted from that slot. Over here, very similar system, but rather than re-rolling skills, what you'll do is you'll re-roll secondary stats. The same kind of stats that are built into the power gem, I believe. Like this may be crit hit chance or endurance or something like that. This may be speed or something. But let's say I really want more mastery, right? Or maybe I want more endurance or something else other than what the current secondary stats are that are being built into this weapon. Well, then I pay some money, and then very similar to the previous NPC, a random new secondary stat will then be built into your weapon, and you either get what you want or you keep rolling until you do. It's pretty much that. And finally, over here, let's take another really close look at the icon. We kind of have like this square, grayish, brownish icon here. This represents the rune socketing NPC. Now, kind of like what you might expect from other MMORPGs, this sort of looks like a gem socket, right? But instead of a gem, these are runes, right? What everybody seems to be calling them, but they basically do the same thing. They have stat bonuses or some kind of improvement that it will give to something related to your character and its performance. I'm getting like plus 3% to something, I don't know, my FAP speed or something. Then I can have that socketed in to there, and there you go. You can probably have these removed for a cost. I haven't quite gotten to it myself because everything requires translations, and none of my translators seem to be doing a very good job either. Like, everything is giving me really goofy results. I have an app on my phone that like gives me really weird results. I have a capture to text, another translation program that sometimes just randomly like starts cursing at me like it has Tourette's. Seriously, it said like, the other day I think it translated that blue rune saying something like effing Andy's favorite song or something. It was really weird and caught me off guard completely. Anyway, so I think that's basically it for the upgrading and where I'm at with my Berserker, what you can expect to be kind of doing maybe when you start working on your character here in Lost Ark. But again, this is just one way to go about it. I mean, the improvements are pretty standard for everybody, but you don't have to do the island gear strictly. You don't have to do the guardian raid strictly if you don't want to. There is the life skills that will allow you to build. Well, like you saw, like with the right materials, you can build your own equipment and then just throw the upgrade materials on top of it after that. And yeah, it's pretty wide open, guys, however you want to play. I'm going to go grind some chaos dungeons now because I need some more gems and materials for upgrading my gear. And I will be making a video of that very soon. Until then, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Click the like button to support Lost Ark here on the channel. I got a lot more videos coming out very soon of more from my Berserker, more from Summoner, more from as many different game activities come up with videos for you guys. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. Hopefully YouTube will let you know when the next video is live. You can also find links to the newest videos on my Twitter and Facebook page. Thanks again for watching. This is Kinetic, and I'll see you next time.